Christ in me sees the Christ in you. Everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. To know love is to be loved, and I know love will stay alive. If the Christ in me sees the Christ in you, everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. If my friend feels sad or broken, every time that my heart opens, love makes its way into the world. When the Christ in me sees the Christ in you, everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things. Sees the Christ who is my strength. I can do all things. Sees the Christ who is my strength.
Namaste. And welcome to the Life Enrichment Center on this beautiful, sunny Memorial Day weekend. It's just lovely here, and I'm sure it's lovely wherever you are. So I'd like to begin our service this morning just by coming together. I know we've all had a busy morning, and if we can just take a moment to close our eyes and just allow our breathing to become deep and slow, so that we feel there is no other place to go except right here. Being here, being now, being a being in this life, and just allow ourselves to be present. For it is in this moment where every good thing happens. It is in this moment where every prayer is answered. It is in this moment where all life is happening. And as we allow ourselves to be present here and now, as we allow ourselves to feel this moment, it is so easy to feel our oneness with all that is. And so we just breathe in now that oneness. Breathe in that relaxation that comes with knowing that we are cared for. That this life in which we live has our back. That is there for us and all that we desire. And so right now our prayer is for health. Health in our own physical body. Health within every physical body. Health in this moment for all of those in hospitals and nursing homes, in any place where healing of the physical body is being called for. We see that prayer as answered here and now. Full health, full energy, full vitality. And our prayer is also one of peace, peace of mind, peace in relationships, peace in our country, peace in the world, peace. Guiding every decision, guiding every word. And we know this to be true because peace is all there is here and now, and our prayer is being answered here and now. And so we open to the all that is, and we allow that allness to be all that we are, here and now. And we feel that healing presence. We feel that joyous presence. We feel that peaceful presence, and we feel that sense of well-being that is ours. And we feel gratitude to know that every prayer is answered as we open to the truth of our prayer. And we are open here and now. And know that our prayer is answered here and now. And so it is. Amen. All right. Well, we'll have our opening affirmative statement. So if you would just repeat after me. I stand in unresisted love.
I stand in unresisted love.
I condemn no one.
I condemn no one.
I forgive myself and all others.
I forgive myself and all others.
And as I do, the grace of God flows easily through me.
The grace of God flows easily through me.
Great. All right. Well, we have a few announcements this morning. As you know, if you've been listening, our May theme is the power of grace, and CDs of today's talk, the Memory of Wholeness, will be available upon request, and for $3, even if you're new. And as a podcast on our website, lecflint.com, tomorrow. And the title of my talk next Sunday, the final Sunday in May, will be The Tender Surrender. All right. Well, we're still taking the talk deeper on Tuesday, so if you want to join us at 12 to just talk about maybe something that you heard on Sunday, not necessarily this Sunday, but in previous Sundays. Just to ask questions if you have any, to talk about and share about how the spiritual life is working in your life. It's a beautiful time to come together, especially in these times. And so if you would like to join us, then let Jim Gould know. At his email address is j.r.gould 123@gmail.com, and he'll send you the link and the password, and we'll see you at noon on Tuesdays. This Tuesday, anyway. Our Wednesday meditations, as of now, are being suspended. I'd say for lack of interest. I'll say for lack of interest. It's the best way to put it. So they're suspended for now. If you would like a different type of noon meditation, if you'd like something different at noon on Wednesdays that I can offer, let me know by email. And my email address is rev.stephanie@comcast.net, and I'm very accommodating. So just let me know. All right. So if you're new to LEC this morning, then you may hear a few concepts that are unfamiliar to you. But if you would, stick around, give them time to become familiar, become active in your consciousness, active in your thoughts and your words and your actions. They have the power to change your life. But in the meantime, for now, and for every moment, know that you are so loved by the universe, and you are supported in all that you desire to be, to do, and to have. Okay, well, before I begin my talk, we're going to listen again to Gary Lynn Floyd as he sings "Love, Cover Me."
As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony. Play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. 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 I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. Love, cover me. May my heart awaken. Tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, 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 love. love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love.
All right, well, thank you, Gary Lynn Floyd. And as it's been mentioned, and as you knew before I mentioned it, it is the Memorial Day weekend, and tomorrow is a day that so many of us have traditionally celebrated with parades and picnics. And it's also a day that some of us have celebrated as the official okay to wear white shoes for the season. Well, this year, of course, things are different. I mean, it's unlikely that there will be many, if any, parades, few picnics. And since most of us haven't seen each other's feet in months, it doesn't really matter what color shoes we're wearing, if any. But today, my talk title is in recognition of Memorial Day, the Memory of Wholeness. Now, it's likely that none of us know even one name of the 500,000 soldiers who died in the war that inspired Memorial Day, the Civil War. But it's good for us to reflect on the countless soldiers who have died in all the wars on this planet before and after the Civil War. I mean, there have been wars, war after war on this planet since recorded history began. And yet, today, we have no sustainable peace on earth. There are conflict upon conflict in our government and governments around the world, and yet we have no peace in our country, and there is little sustainable peace in any country around the world. And that's why it's important that if we want peace on earth, that we become aware of the holy memory within us that was placed there in our heart at the moment of creation and lives there still. It's the memory of wholeness, a memory of our oneness with our Creator, with the universe in which we live, and with every being that lives within it. Such a memory of love and joy and peace, of harmony and well-being for all, has the power to end war today and forever, and to ensure that not one more soldier is added to the number of war dead that are remembered in future Memorial Days. I mean, we all want peace, but are we truly willing to let it begin with us? I mean, what do we do individually to bring it about? Are the thoughts in our mind peaceful? At least most of the time? Are our words and actions towards others peaceful? More often than not? Or do we fight with and fight against those who don't agree with us? And if they don't come around to our way of thinking, are we convinced that we'd feel a whole lot better if they'd just stay out of our way and stop provoking us? I mean, are we sure that if everyone would just stay home, and if they'd wear a mask if they have to go out, that we would have peace of mind at last? Is that really the only thing stopping us from feeling peace? Or is that just what we're focusing on right now? We can wrap ourselves so tightly with ideas of rightness that we live our life in a mental straitjacket. The Dutch-born American anti-war activist A.J. Muste said, "There is no way to peace. Peace is the way." Our choosing peaceful thoughts in our mind, whether we're thinking about ourselves or a family member or a coworker or a neighbor or someone walking on the street or a politician, is the way. Our engaging in peaceful conversations, whether we're talking about ourselves or a family member or a coworker or a neighbor or someone on the street or a politician, is the way. And yet we seem to demand another way. We want those around us to be different so that we can be peaceful. And until they're different, we are going to focus on all those things they do that make us crazy and angry. In the book of James, we read, "You lust and you do not possess. You murder and envy and you have no power. You fight and you do battle and you have not because you ask not." Now, thousands and millions of people around the world have been praying for peace and meditating for peace for decades, maybe centuries. But if our thoughts between our prayers don't support our prayers, I mean, our prayers for anything, for health and wealth as well as peace, then our prayers are powerless. The creative power of the universe doesn't listen to our words. It feels our vibration. I mean, have you ever had someone say something to you and, well, it just didn't ring true? We could say that the universe hears our bells, not our words. And it's the vibration of the thoughts we emit that it answers. The law of attraction is powerful, and it responds to us, no questions asked. It never wonders. It never asks, "Are you sure you want to focus on that?" We get what we focus on. We ask for peace or health or love or joy or good things through the thoughts we focus on in our mind. And if our thoughts support our prayers, then our prayers are powerful things. But we can't buck the universal system by praying with words we don't live by. We call to us what we think about. And there are no exceptions. I mean, even if we're thinking about someone else and thinking about their behavior and thinking about what they said and thinking about what they're doing, the universe sends it right back to us as the forms and expressions and the experiences of our life, not theirs. The more challenges we find with one another, the more challenging we are to each other. But the same is true. The more beauty we find in one another, the more beautiful we are to each other. The way of the heart tells us, for the truth is set within your heart, and all power under heaven and earth is given unto you. It is that power that changes the momentum of the mind and heals every wounded perception. If we've forgotten, it's essential for us to remember that even in this world of such vivid contrast and apparent differences of preferences and behaviors, that despite what we see and even if we disagree, that we are all spiritual beings of love, living in a spiritual universe of love that is governed by the spiritual law of love and organized perfectly by the universal law of attraction. So, what's the key to accessing our memory of the universal law and order that is based on love? Well, it's been said the bad news is there is no key to the universe. The good news is it was never locked. We don't need to struggle or effort to find the key to our spiritual memory. The door isn't locked, but we have to want to open it. I mean, we don't wonder if we remember where we put our car keys unless we're planning on going somewhere. And the same is true. We won't wonder if we remember where the truth is in our heart until we are ready to go out into the world again, to mix it up. But until we're ready to go out in peace and love, and to live in harmony with all of those beings who live in this world with us, who don't necessarily behave as we wish they would. That ain't going to happen. Now, with all that's come about to bring about this world situation, if we're looking for a powerful, positive solution, then it's time for all of us to give peace a chance. So a good question to ask ourselves is, am I ready to experience the wholeness within myself that allows me to see the wholeness in others and to feel my oneness with all life and live in harmony? Or as Bonnie Raitt might sing it, are you ready for this thing called love? Love is the nature of life itself. The memory of wholeness is the divine recollection of the unmistakable, unrestricted, unlimited, unconditional love that lives in us, that is the nature of who we are as living beings. In Science of Mind, we read, man must partake of the divine nature if he comes from it or is made out of it. For what is true of the whole must also be true of any of its parts. Peace is an attribute of wholeness. Peace lives in all its parts, and the parts can't be taken apart. What God has joined together, no man has the power to put asunder. We are one life now and always. Peace comes to our mind when we remember we're created as one diverse life of unity, but not conformity. If we will ever live in peace together, then every part of us must choose peace for ourselves. So another good question we might want to ask is, am I ready to do my part for peace by being a peaceful part? If we're not ready to give up our need to control others, if we're not ready to let go of thoughts and words and actions of conflict because we're convinced that peace can't be achieved without a good fight, then it's likely we're not going to look for that unlocked door within us that'll take us to the memory of peace. And it's always behind door number 1. We read in A Course in Miracles, for what God wills is whole, and part of him because his will is one. Nothing lives that's not part of him, and nothing is, but is alive in him. The truth set within our heart has the power to heal every wounded perception we have of ourselves and others. If we're seekers of truth, we can't discover what we're created to be together as long as we continue to try to tear each other apart. It's important for us to ask ourselves, am I ready to surrender conflict and a need to be right for peace and happiness? Am I ready to remember who I am in a universe where God said I am first? Am I ready to remember God and God's creation and forget the rest? My friend Brad Miller, who lives now in Texas, but years ago used to guest speak here from time to time at LEC, posted on Facebook that we'll emerge from this physical isolation either as a monk, a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk. And I laughed for a while. Yeah. But then I thought, well, maybe we can emerge as all of those things. Because we can emerge as a monk, because we've taken this time of isolation and aloneness to meditate and discover our oneness with the whole. And as a hunk, because as we discover ourselves in that oneness, we discover how beautiful we are. And we attract that beauty everywhere we go. And as a chunk, well, let's just say it doesn't matter if our clothes don't fit. We can be a chunk of the wholeness. Because the love and peace and joy and harmony and well-being of the universe lives in all its parts. And finally, for feeling all those things, then we'll be drunk on life, high on the vibration of joy, dancing in the streets together with not one thought of social distancing, because we will know without a doubt that the wholeness that we are can never be taken apart. Dennis Merritt Jones said, "We are all mystics." Some of us are optimistics, and some of us are pessimistics. But this Memorial Day is the perfect time for us to remember the mystic that we are created to be. Namaste. All right. Well, I know what we do next. Do you know what we do next? All right. This is the time of our service where we get to support LEC, and I know we all do. And we are so filled with gratitude. We are all, everybody here, gratitude receivers of your graciousness, your grace, your love, your support for LEC and who we are together. And so it's just a time, really, before our gratitude prayer and before Marcia and Jason and Larry Mandeville do their beautiful song. It's just a time to say thank you. And to tell you, if you're new, that and you want to donate, we know you want to, that you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center, or you can go to our website. That's a great place to go, lecflint.com, and hit the contribute button. You can go to PayPal, and you can send in a check. We've been finding them everywhere. It's just like Easter all over again. And finally, you can text. If you have any questions about texting, let us know. You can, again, email us or give us a call. But we'll have the text information on the screen in just a moment. So we'll have it above my head. Oh, okay. We'll have it up here in just a moment, so look up. It's always a good idea anyway. All right. So if you would just join Marcia Allen, Jason Phillips, and Larry Mandeville in our gratitude song.
Some days we forget to look around us. Some days we can't see the joy that surrounds us. So caught up inside ourselves, we take when we should give. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be, and on this day, what we still can't see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we know we can still do more, there's so much to be grateful for. Beyond ourselves, there's so much It's way too late to say I'll cry tomorrow. Each of us must find our truth. It's so long overdue. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be, and every day we hope for what we still can't see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much to be thankful for. Even with our differences, there's a place we're all connected. Each of us can find each other's light. We know can be, and every day we hope for what we still can't see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though this world needs so much more, there's so much to be thankful. There's reason to be grateful. There's so much to be thankful for.
There is a memory within us of the joyous life we share together. And that memory causes hope for the things that we have not seen yet. It causes us to be grateful that we know that we are one life together. It causes us to feel the peace that we share. It causes us to seek the truth that we are. It calls us moment to moment to come together, to play with each other, to dance with each other, to create with each other, to be with one another as we're created to be. For this is the truth of our being. We are one life, one life, one life, never two. And so we are grateful this morning that we live in the unity of God's love, that we are never apart, that every good thing that we desire is with us. Every good thought surrounds us. Every good word extends from us, and every action blesses those around us. We are so grateful that we can choose to express this life that we are, that we can move forward with peace and love into the world and demand nothing from the world? That we can be that? We can extend that no matter what? How grateful we are that we have that freedom and that we know we're free. And so feeling gratitude for the Life Enrichment Center, for all that we are together, for the growing that we are doing together, for the expansion that we have not seen yet, but are in the process of manifesting together. Let us say our statement of abundance together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. All right. Well, that's it for today. We'll have our closing affirmation, and then we'll end with our peace song. So this is our closing affirmation. I remember my oneness with life, and love flows from me to everyone I see. It rhymes, so it'll be easy. Okay, ready? I remember my oneness with life, and love flows from me to everyone I see. Everyone. That's the big word, okay? Again, I remember my oneness with life, and love flows from me to everyone I see. One more time. I remember my oneness with life, and love flows from me to everyone I see. Yes. All right. Let us stand if you'd like to dance to the peace song. Join hands at home if you want.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow.